asking around a bit, it doesn't take too long for people to guide you to a location within Whitestone referred to as the Grey Field. The Grey Field sits on the eastern, kind of northeastern side of the city. And there's a couple paths there, one that's kind of a direct road, one that's kind of like a nice forest walk that kind of leads you through the beautiful trees of the surrounding Parchwood timberland. You do eventually find the path open up into what is an old graveyard. Within here, you do see two structures that aren't directly mausoleums, one of which looks to be a modest temple to the Dawnfather. On the other side, much smaller, is what people have sent you towards, called the Altar of the Raven. This is an even more modest place of worship for the Raven Queen. It is a large stone worshiping structure that looks like it houses a smaller chamber in the back of it. As you approach, you can see this massive structure of what looks like a cloaked, stone-faced woman mask, the familiar visage of the Matron of Ravens there standing. But there, perched before her on the ground, you see another cloaked figure with its own raven-like mask, also loosely interpreted, with a feathered mantle. And you realize you've seen this figure once at the base of the Malleus Key, before this individual was made part of it. This is a statue relief of that strange winged figure you saw briefly appear to defend the voice of the Tempest.
Oh,
Cool.
wait, that was the guy with the move and the one-liner. That's the guy.
The larger structure that sits behind the main statue is inscribed with the Altar of the Raven. The larger statue of the matron has no inscription, but the smaller of this figure you recognize is noted as the Champion of the Raven, in memory of friendship, sacrifice, and the day that he carries us all upon the threshold and beyond.
Well, what about that back area?
All right, come on.
I mean, I'm not scared. But you go first.
Okay. Anyone home?
You head to the back entryway to that small structure. It looks almost like a shed that's affixed to the back of this kind of central statue altar. The door is closed. It opens up, and it is a blank interior and a staircase. You descend the steps below, and a vague red light begins to approach as you see a basement floor begins to come closer. And you hear a voice go, "Ah!"
Hello. Sorry, don't mean to intrude. Just come to worship a little bit.
You hear a bit of shuffling, and the shadow of a figure kind of steps forward out of the red light.
What's going on? What are you doing? What are you here for? You here for worship, you said?
You see this, like, hairless, kind of somewhat scrawny and jagged-looking dwarven fellow. Like, no hair, no beard. He's kind of robes on that go just past his knees, and he kind of, like, walks with that hobbled knee kind of walk and goes,
Oh, you coming to worship? Okay, yeah, come on down here. You can worship, okay?
Just casual visit, if that's okay.
Yeah, I know it's what it's here for. I just, yeah, come on down.
A lot of visitors, worshippers.
Not that many, no. It's just gotta keep it clean, make sure teenagers don't come in here and leave a mess at night, you know?
Oh, yeah.
What's your name? What's your name, friend?
Othinon.
Othinon.
I'm having lunch. You can come in.
As you step down, it's interesting. There are 5 stone sarcophagi down here. each with the carving of a person on the lid. But they're all, while humanoid and of varying sizes, there's a lack of definition in the face.
I just came to say a prayer, but if you want, you and I could probably fit into one.
I'm here. Let's do it together.
Want to share one?
Yep.
Feet to feet.
Feet to feet.
Okay.
Help me push.
It's one that's large enough to not uncomfortably fit you both, but just enough.
4 foot and under. Let's do this.
Okay.
I got you.
Closes it there, and you hear his muffled footsteps as he walks over, and then you can't hear anything, and it's just darkness.
You know, just because we got in here doesn't mean anything is going to happen.
What? I know. I just.
No, nothing there.
Okay. Should we just be quiet?
I guess. In the middle of this dumb fuckery, I just do say a few words in my head and tell the matron, I'm sorry for your friend. I hope you're holding up. I hope we can help.
As the silence passes in my head, I say, take your time. That's it.
Minutes pass in silence. Hours even. So hard to tell. You're just standing alone with nothing but the sound of your own breathing. Did you stop breathing? No, but you can hear him breathe. Not anymore. As you feel for any sort of shift in rise or fall of your chest, you are uncertain if your eyes have been closed or open this whole time. And the minute you think of that thought, you force them open, and darkness still surrounds you, but for a faint white light ahead of you, like a spotlight on the horizon.
Come on, Chet. Ash?
You all hear that voice, but you see nobody around you. Orym's echo, sourceless. But that single white light sits hanging. Far, close, you're uncertain.
Orym?
Let's take a walk.
You step towards this light. And as you do, this spotlight seems to be highlighting a sphere, an orb shape. Formless, distant. And the closer you get, the more it begins to take detail. The more that it looks like a hill or the back of a chair. No, it seems like it's miles away, and then it seems like it's but feet away, and then it begins to move. You see what was once just this mound, this colorless shape, rise and elongate until it has a somewhat humanoid outline. Facing away, all you see is a cloak of black. The figure slowly begins to turn to face you. And you see peeking beneath the long black hair a pale white, expressionless porcelain mask. Feminine, cold, and a hand reaches up and pulls the mask free. And behind it there is black void, nothing. It rushes in and you feel yourself pulled into a second wave of shadow, lost. Your feet touch nothing. You are just floating in absence, in nothing. You hear metal hitting metal, clinking, jangling, like chains dragging against chains. You look up, and you look up at the surface of a hole, not unlike when you looked up from the great tree of atrophy. You see just a ring of light, like you're staring up from a grave, and there looking down, the masked figure looks. And you see chains around their wrists that seem to dangle into the hole.
This is what we do where I come from. Come on, I think this is more than we bargained for. I'm gonna try and grab one of the chains and see what happens when I start giving pressure to it.
You feel yourself beginning to slowly climb towards the exit.
Don't wait behind. There's nothing good to be found at the bottom of a hole.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh, Matron. Okay.
The two of you begin to climb these chains and feel yourself getting closer and closer to the surface. Do you climb as well?
Yeah, I'll follow last.
As you drag these thick chains, hearing the metal echoing in the space beneath you, endless, like a waterless well that is miles deep. You pull yourself closer, and eventually you feel the chains begin to give. And the masked figure, the matron, raises her arms. These chains are affixed to the shackles around her wrists. And as you pull once more, they break. She lowers her hands and looks up as giant raven wings release. And she begins to fly up as you fall. And as she begins to take off, you watch her break into hundreds of black ravens, flying free and away as the light diminishes. And you return once more to darkness. You don't feel scared. You don't feel perturbed or exploited. You feel noticed. And oddly appreciated.